A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I want A plus English because it's so much fun. English education for you and everyone, so come along. Learn some grammar, learn a phrase, learn something new every day. Learn the A plus way. Hey, it's time to start the show. Are you ready? Good, 'cause here we go. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I want A plus English.
Welcome back, everyone, to A Plus English. I'm Adam.
And I'm Elsie.
And in our previous article, we were talking about different and weird kinds of taxes.
Such as?
Beard tax and neo tax, or would I say it?
Neo tax, urine tax.
Urine tax.
Yep.
Now, let's kind of review some of what we learned. Did we remember where was the beard tax taxed in? What country?
Oh, which kind of beard you mean?
Yeah.
Beard tax, you mean?
Where was it? Where were you getting taxed at for having a beard?
Russia.
Yeah, Russia. And what also happened to people that would sell urine to other people?
They have to pay a tax?
Yeah, they have to pay a tax.
Oh, okay.
So everyone, that actually brings up us to our warm-up question. And it asks, what kinds of things do taxes pay for?
Oh, we actually talked about this, right?
Yeah, we've kind of talked about this last time in our opening, but can you remember what are some things that taxes do pay for?
So taxes pay for roads.
Yes, they pay for roads.
Pay for public transportation. What else?
Well, they also pay for places we like to play in, right? They pay for parks. So we wouldn't have that many parks in Taipei if we didn't pay taxes.
True.
All right, so you guys ask yourselves and your teachers, what are some other things that taxes pay for? Let's jump into our article and see what kind of weird tax we have coming up.
From beards to shadows, 4 strange but real taxes. Warm-up question. What kinds of things do taxes pay for?
Window tax. In 1696, people in England had to pay a tax on their windows. House owners needed to pay more tax if their houses had more windows. At the time, people believed homes with more windows belonged to richer people. Interestingly, people blocked their windows to avoid paying more taxes. This made many homes darker.
Okay, everyone, moving on to our third weird or strange tax, we see the window tax.
Window tax, 窗户税.
Yeah. All right, let's learn more about window tax. Well, it says in 1696, people in England had to pay a tax on their windows. Oh, hopefully they didn't have too many windows, right?
Right.
All right. Well, jumping back, our article says house owners needed to pay more tax if their houses had more windows.
So you were right about that. 在1696年的时候，英格兰的人们必须要为他们的窗户缴税，而且 more windows, more tax.
I know. I wonder if back then people would build a house or make a house then with maybe only one window or no windows.
Right, but I wonder how much tax did they have to pay?
That's a good question. It says houses with fewer than 10 windows, it was 2 shillings. Houses with 10 or more windows, additional tax.
Oh, so you have to pay the 2 shillings and more.
And even more. Yeah.
Okay, so was it a significant amount at the time?
So 2 shillings, was it a lot of money during that time?
Right.
Yeah, it was.
Oh.
And jumping back to our article, it says, at the time, people believed homes with more windows belonged to richer people.
So having more windows was a sign of wealth.
Yeah.
So did the window tax affect the design of homes during that time?
That's a good question. Well, our article says, interestingly, people blocked their windows to avoid paying more taxes.
Huh. So if people blocked their windows to avoid the tax, how did that affect their daily lives?
Well,
I mean, no windows, no sunlight, right?
right, yeah. Well, obviously, our article says this made many homes darker.
对呀，人们封住窗户就会为的是要避免缴纳更多的税款，可是呢，家里也会变暗许多。So people might have had to rely more on candles, 要用蜡烛 or oil lamps.
Yeah, oil lamps were big back then. We didn't have electricity back in 16, whatever the year was.
And without open windows, homes would have been stuffy,
Yeah.
很闷 and uncomfortable.
That's right. Yeah, they would have been, and you could have maybe grown mold or something that is not good back then. Because, I mean, again, there was no air conditioners, there's no air purifiers to make the house, the air in the house very comfortable. But also, it brings me to the question thinking about, okay, back then, if you had more windows, people thought you were wealthy.
Yeah.
Or thought you had a lot of money. Do you still think that today? So if you go to a house and you see their whole backyard or their whole backside of their house has a lot of big windows, would you think that that person is wealthy or have a lot of money?
I don't think so.
Really?
I don't think it's the case now.
Well, it's pretty common in the United States where if you do have in your backyard or where the back of your house is, that you have a lot of bigger windows because you want to see outside. So I would assume still to this day, at least in the United States, maybe not in England, maybe not in Taiwan, but we still do think of it as being a little bit more wealthy or having a little bit more money when you have big windows on the back side of your house.
Shadow tax. In Venice, Italy, many restaurants have awnings outside. These cast shadows on public sidewalks. To keep the fair use of public spaces, the city taxes these shadows. Today, this tax is still in effect. Although these taxes might seem strange, they're real ways for countries to collect money.
Okay, everyone, now let's jump into our fourth tax. It's a weird one as well. It is shadow tax.
Shadow tax, 影子税.
Yeah.
Then all of us have to pay this kind of tax.
We might have to all pay this tax. It actually says in Venice, Italy, many restaurants have awnings outside.
Awning 这个名词是雨棚或是遮棚，好，就是中文我们说遮雨棚的那个东西。
Exactly. And these cast shadows on public sidewalks.
Cast 这个动词是将影子或是光投射到某处，所以雨棚会把影子投射到公共人行道上面。
Okay. Well, moving on, it says to keep the fair use of public spaces, the city taxes these shadows.
所以为了要维护公共空间的公平使用，这座城市就对影子征税。How does that work exactly?
Yeah, that's weird. Like, and how much of a shadow do you get taxed on? Is it if it's a little shadow, only a little bit? If it's a bigger shadow, then more? Well, the shadow tax in Venice is based on how large the shadow is that the awning or structure casts. So the larger the shadow, the higher the tax.
影子越大，税金就越重，越贵。
That is a weird, strange tax. Our article says now, today this tax is still in effect. So it means it's still going on.
Right, be in effect 是生效中，所以直至今日还是有这一项税收。
Yeah, well, wondering more about these, let's see what we can else learn about these taxes with this shadow tax. Our article now says, although these taxes might seem strange, they're real ways for countries to collect money. So I guess that's pretty important, right? Countries do need to, get money from their people, from their population. And these are some really strange ways, especially back then.
Right, so the governments have to think of different ways to, make people pay money to them.
Right, yeah, they need to raise funds, I guess.
Yeah, but I guess they're necessary for governments to raise funds, right?
You're right, exactly right.
So which of these 4 taxes do you think is the strangest?
Okay, so let's review our 4, right? So
Beard
the first
tax.
one is beard tax.
Urine tax?
Urine tax. What's the third one?
What's the third one?
Well, we have shadow tax.
Right, shadow tax.
And the fourth one was
Window
what?
tax.
Window tax.
So, I think the strangest one is
Come on, everyone knows your answer. Yeah.
still urine tax.
Yeah, of course. The urine tax is still the strangest. Imagine getting taxed on your urine. How strange would that be?
OK， 好啦，这就是以上奇怪税收的课文咯。那我们现在到单字的部分。今天我们要看到的第一组是个片语，哈，它是 belong to， 代表是属于，那主词都会是物品，然后 belong to 后面加上人，那这个用法是没有被动态的，好，都是主动。所以单字例句我们马上来看一下咯。That isn't your hat, it belongs to me。这不是你的帽子。它是我的，所以这个 it 指的是帽子，放在主词 belongs to 后面加上人，那就是我 me。那再来第二个是 avoid 这个动词代表避开或是逃避 ，avoid 后面加上人事物，受词直接放上去就可以了。那如果你想要装上去的是动作的话，那你要讲的是 avoid 后面加 VING， 比如说 avoid using plastic 避免使用塑胶 ，avoid buying things you don't need 避免买你不需要的东西。那单词例句给的是呢 Thomas left work early to avoid the heavy traffic on the highway. Thomas 提早下班以避开高速公路塞车的状况。那再来第三个单字是 sidewalk 这个名词指的是人行道。那相关的还有什么呢？比如说 crosswalk 那就是斑马线。pedestrian 指的就是在路上行走的行人。单词例句给的是呢 There wasn't a sidewalk here, so we had to walk on the road. 这里没有人行道，所以我们得走在马路上。那第四个单字是一个形容词 fair。F-A-I-R fair 指的是公平的，所以当我们说公平的竞赛、公平的比赛，就可以用它来形容。好，我们可以说 a fair game 或者是 a fair match。那如果你要抗议某事不公平的话，你可以说 It's not fair。It's not fair to do something， 那就是做某事是不公平的。那如果你不要用 fair 这个字，你要用它的相反字叫做unfair 不公平的也可以。那单词例句给的是呢 The boss is fair to all his workers and treats them equally。 老板对所有的员工都很公平，一视同仁。那最后 magic box 的部分我们要讲到的是不定词，用于表示行动的目的。在中文里面我们就会说为了点点点，或是目的是要点点点。那不定词在句中呢可以用来表达某个行为或者是事件发生的原因或目的。那不定词表示行动目的的句构通常是主词加上动词，后面 to 带出原形动词。For example, she went to the park to exercise. 她去公园的目的是什么？是为了运动。好，所以呢 to 后面接上原形动词 exercise。那有的时候呢，不定词可以放在句子的开头来强调目的，像是这样的说法 To learn new languages, you need to practice every day. 为了要学习新语言，你要每天练习。那接下来就到 review time 的部分咯。
Review time.
Okay, welcome to our review time, everyone. I'm going to give you some key words for each of the 4 strange taxes we've read about, and you'll have to guess what kind of tax it is.
好，所以你会给我们关键字 keywords.
Okay.
And we have to guess.
Only keywords.
Only keywords. Okay.
Right. So, number 1. First word, England, 1696. And Dark homes.
England, 1696, dark homes.
What kind of tax would that be?
We have window tax, beard tax, urine tax, and
Shadow
tax. This one would be window tax.
Yeah, ding dong, you got it. Window tax. Let's look at number 2. Peter the Great.
彼得大帝
Russian men.
俄罗斯男人 beard tax. This
Beard
one's
tax.
easy.
That's an easy one. All right, hit me with one. Give me one.
Public sidewalks.
Okay, public sidewalks.
Awnings.
Awnings. Okay.
Venice.
Venice. All right, so somewhere outside, public. Awnings, things that cast a shadow. Shadow tax.
Bingo.
All right, moving on to our 4th one. Here we go. Cleaning.
清洁
Businessmen.
商人
Ancient Rome.
Okay, the most weird one, the weirdest one, the strangest one, the one that I don't like.
Yes.
Urine tax.
Urine tax.
尿尿
Ding
税
dong. How did you guys do? Did you guess all the correct answers? And maybe you can play this game with your teacher and also with your classmates.
Yes. OK， 今天的节目就到这边喽。想跟真人老师一对一线上讨论吗？欢迎加入空中家教。So for A+ English, this is Elsie.
And I'm Adam.
See you soon. Bye bye.
Bye-bye.